You all do it like she's best.
I will call the City of Maplewood Planning Commission meeting to order at 7 p.m. on July 15th, 2025. Roll call.
Tom Hausen present.
Lou Yang present.
Paul Arnold present.
Scott Wolfsberger present.
John Eads present.
Number C, approval of the agenda. Staff, any updates or changes?
Good evening. No, there are no changes to the agenda.
Motion to approve agenda.
Second. Motion by Tom, Paul seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. No nays. D is approval of the minutes. Any changes, staff?
Chair and Commission, there are no changes to the minutes.
Anybody see anything?
Motion to approve minutes.
Second motion to approve the minutes.
Motion by Scott and seconded by John. All in favor, say aye.
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 One abstention, I wasn't here.
One abstention for Paul. That passes. We will move on to E, public hearing, setback variance resolution for community dental care at 600 Carlton Street North. Staff.
All right. Good evening. And if I could get the PowerPoint up here. Get going on this one here. So community dental care located at 600 Carlton Street North. Showquist Architects, on behalf of community dental care, is requesting a variance to allow a patient pickup and drive area that will include 2 short-term parking stalls within the required parking setback. The site, formerly owned and utilized by 3M, to just a little over 2.5 acres, is right on the east side of Carlton there on the north end of the 3M site. So to move forward with this proposal, the applicant is requesting approval of a parking setback variance. Oops, sorry about that. The future land use designation in the comprehensive plan, the land is guided for employment. Land use activities within the employment designation place a special emphasis on job retention and creation, including both lower and higher intensity manufacturing, industrial areas, and major employment centers, offices, clinical, and business uses. This proposal meets the intent of the city's land use plan. The zoning district property is zoned light manufacturing. It's a permitted use. Overall, the changes to the site are minor. The new tenant is occupying the site with very minimal exterior changes. They're proposing that drive-up and short-term parking stall area, which is within the required 15-foot setback from the street right-of-way and property line along Carlton Avenue. This area would be limited to occasional pickups and drop-offs, and it's for patients that have received sedation dentistry services, and that those occur in that lower level of the building. So this is not an area where you would see people parking frequently or for long term. Again, it's required to be 15 feet. They're proposing, we'll pull up the plan here in a minute, but it kind of curves because it's a drive, lane essentially going back out to Carlton. And so as it curves, it starts at 0, but it does widen to approximately 8 feet. So the request is to have the project details right up to that line on the west side of that existing building, and this is due to the exterior site constraints. So there's a significant grade change on either side of the building, if you've driven by the site or pulled up a Google image before our meeting tonight, it's obvious. So the existing interior layout restricts access to and from the lower level, and also the existing parking area. So this way, and they can maybe speak, our applicants can maybe speak to that more if you have additional questions, but it allows for them to, provide that service to their patients, and then they're not walking back upstairs through the clinic after they've had, a procedure done and they've been sedated. This is a existing conditions survey on the far right. This is showing the parking area and the building. We worked with their design team. They, pursued other areas for this, but again, it really just, when it comes down to the interior layout of the building and then the exterior grade changes on the site, the only way to really access that lower level is on the west side of the building. And then the image on the left shows their proposed paving area in relation to the project. And they are utilizing an existing access point off of Carlton. That's on the bottom portion there. And then it would be a little turnabout there going back onto Carlton. And there's more images here. So this is the enlarged, this is showing the existing site plan. So this is what it looks like now. Again, we have our survey over on the right-hand side, the existing site plan that they provided from their design team showing the sidewalk, the drive access, the trash enclosure, a tree, and the drive that they have right now, it goes straight back to that building to like a loading dock area, into their trash enclosure. So we'll get into a little bit more on that here in a moment. So here's the site plan of what they are proposing now, okay? So there's the overview of the site and then an enlarged site plan on the left-hand side. You can see that the trash enclosure has been moved straight north. So it will still be utilized for their trash pickup. Again, they looked at moving that to somewhere back behind the building, but with, how their building is laid out in those existing areas of where they have their not mechanical, but the loading dock area, it just makes sense, again, to keep it within close proximity. And the drive-up area has an existing door that they'll be utilizing for patients. You can see that they have 2 short-term parking stalls dimensioned out there. Again, those are short-term. They're not meant to be areas where people from the public are parking long-term. So this is a covered portico that they're shown on their plans to provide shelter for the patients as they're exiting that lower level, and then some trash enclosure details as well. Overall, these 2 items are not part of our review tonight. I'm just giving it to provide a little context of what else will be occurring on that exterior area. So, and they're having that pickup area, the portico and the trash enclosure require a separate administrative review, so that will be reviewed by staff, and then our design board has a chance to take a look at it, but it's not a public meeting or anything else or anything we're reviewing tonight. So what we are looking at tonight is a setback variance. State statute allows those variances to be approved when the proposal is in harmony with the city goals and policies in the comprehensive plan and in our ordinances. And when practical difficulties exist, there's 3 factors that cities must consider for a practical difficulty. 1, reasonableness, uniqueness, and essential character. We've outlined these in the past when we've reviewed variances. And so I wanted to have those up there again, so you can see what we have reviewed when looking at this request. And overall, our findings is that this request meets those standards. So the applicant has provided a reasonable justification for the setback variance, and they reviewed other areas on the site to find a more suitable location. But in that case, that wouldn't require a variance, but it just didn't work because of the existing circumstances that are unique to this property and not created by the property owner. So the variance will not alter the character. It's overall a very small area that we're talking about of what they're proposing to do here. We sent our public hearing notices to properties within 500 feet. There were no comments received prior to the staff report and public hearing. And then we did receive a couple comments from our building official and our engineering team. Those were included in your staff report that we sent out. Overall, pretty minor, but there will be additional review when they go for permitting as part of this, making sure that their comments are addressed. And then after this evening's public hearing, this is tentatively scheduled to go to the city council in a couple weeks in July here on the 28th yet. Staff is recommending approval of the setback variance resolution. I have a motion up on the screen here for you to review, and I'm happy to, answer any questions that you have or review that resolution with you. And I will also note that we have someone from our design team and the dentist office here as well.
Staff, just to make sure I'm understanding this, so the actual property line is actually the right-of-way of Clarendon Avenue, correct?
Correct. Well,
So does that
okay.
have- So because that's going into, the property line is a variance of the right-of-way of the street,
Yeah,
that seems, does that come under the Planning Commission's authority to grant that? Or does that come under the City of Maplewood Public Works?
in this case, it is a setback variance. I say right-of-way, I use that interchangeably, property line. The right-of-way, that's where the right-of-way starts. So what it means is that as that area, because it's so close to the property line, as it curves back, it really becomes zero when you're measuring it in terms of that setback requirement. If this were a new parking area, we would like to see the entrance come in 15 feet and then there be parking. In this case, because it's more of a drive-up, short-term drop-off area, we're comfortable with that request and that it gets closer to the street.
My reason for the question is to make sure that we're not encroaching on a property owner's.
No,
So we're not encroaching on property owner.
No.
We're encroaching on a right-of-way that's the City of Maplewood's right-of-way.
so this
Technically.
is, yes, the right-of-way area there, that is the city of Maplewood's right-of-way.
Correct. Thank you.
In terms of like frequency of use, was there discussion around how many patients per hour are anticipated to be under sedation or anything like that in terms of quantity of spaces?
I'm not aware of that answer, so I would direct that to the applicant.
Okay.
They can speak better to the operational need there.
So what happens if we give them that, to build on that property and they need to widen the street? Does the city take that back or do they own that then, or how does that work?
So again, just to clarify, they are not going into the right-of-way. What we're saying is that they're not meeting the 15-foot setback requirement to the right-of-way.
It's just on the edge of it.
Right.
Okay.
On a portion of it, and really the whole thing, because the drive area encroaches into that 15-foot setback as well. And it just has to do with a couple things here. First, the right-of-way angles. And then also because this isn't a full parking lot, it's a very small area, they're trying to provide a small space for a couple of vehicles to pull up, pick up someone who's been under sedation and leave. So it would, again, not be long-term parking.
Did they ask the fire department or emergency services on the use of this too, if 'Cause I know
That's
that-
correct. Yep.
And they okayed that too, or?
Yes, Chair and Commission, as part of all of our projects, we always send out our plans and our land use applications to our project review team. So, and that includes folks from our engineering staff. And we did not receive any concerns from them regarding that. There are some comments that they will need to address as part of their permitting. As far as the fire department goes, there were no concerns and no comments provided.
So there's enough width for an ambulance to come in?
Right,
and-
they have access to the building and other areas is what was said.
Okay, okay.
Does the city have any requirements with the curb cut and the new apron going in there?
There are, and they'll be required to meet those standards as part of their grading permit. Yep. And really, those details as far as their civil plans and their grading permit, that is something we'll review administratively. What we're looking tonight is the fact that this would effectively be a 15-foot setback request.
Is the language for the setback, because looking at what sheet, it was 18 in the packet. It looks like the property line doesn't, the road technically goes through the property, not like the property line isn't the edge of the road. There's a red box around that whole property, and it looks like the road is actually through the property and on that particular plan. It
Let
was
me
that
pull
CDS
this.
commercial,
Which one are we talking about, so I can see this?
it was Alta NSPS Land Survey.
Okay, yeah, and so the reason, and this is maybe a little more confusing too than it needs to be, but they used to own property across the street on Carlton, so that's why the survey, the red line that goes around, and you have the full survey in your packet. I had to crop this so it fit and be legible on my PowerPoint slide. But it goes up a lot farther and goes over across the street. But we have a right-of-way easement, and so that's why in our code, our setback for the parking is actually written to the street right-of-way.
To the street, okay.
Because in this case, they have property across the street. Now, since then, they have changed that, and they've sold some of it. It just is not reflected quite in that way here. But the right-of-way is there. That is the city right-of-way.
So the language is for the right-of-way, not just for the property line? all that, so-
Correct.
okay,
Yep.
perfect.
Yep.
Okay.
And there is let's see. Yeah, I think there's also like a electrical line or something, I believe, but
Yeah,
that's
looks like overhead
there's
power lines.
There's some other lines being shown on here, but it's that blue one that you're looking at.
Any more questions for city staff?
Is there any issues with wetland? Does that come into play?
There is a wetland, but it's not on this parcel, on this area.
Even though it's across the street, it doesn't?
It's across the street and well farther north, and it's not part of this project, or it does not affect it.
Okay.
All right. Would you like to come and say a few words?
Yeah, sure, and I can speak to the volume of.
If you could come up to the microphone and introduce yourself.
So I'm Kevin Lund, the CFO for Community Dental Care. I'm not sure if you're aware of the organization, but we're a nonprofit organization. We run 5 large clinics in the state of Minnesota. We primarily see uninsured patients or patients on government-funded health plans. We opened this Carlton Street Clinic in order to expand our reach within the community. There's a lot of need and demand for services amongst your community, which is why we opened this clinic. And so I thank you for your support and consideration of this project. As far as the volume of patients, the lower level of the clinic has 14 operatories, and we expect to have sedation dentistry in 3 of those. So there's 1 doctor who will be seeing and doing sedation dentistry amongst those operatories. And so at maximum, there will be 2 patients at any point in time in those operatories. So at maximum, there will be 2 patients being picked up within an hour in those operatories. So it should be really a low volume of traffic kind of through that traffic circle at any point in time.
Because he did state that it was occasional, is that?
Yes.
That was kind of a unusual wording for, because it's a full-time endodontist that's there, right?
It will be, it'll be a pediatric dentist
Okay,
doing sedation dentistry.
okay.
Yeah.
But he'll be full-time, so there'll be, it won't be occasional, it'll be every hour at least then, right?
Every hour, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
within those 3 operatories.
Okay.
Are you seeing a lot of traffic come through on Carlton there?
We just opened to patients a week ago, and we were a little nervous about the traffic patterns in the area, but it's been tolerable so far. It's been decent for the employees. There is some construction going on in the area as well, which hasn't helped either. And we also aren't fully staffed yet either, so we will be ramping up staff more as well, but so far it's been fine. Any other questions?
I know how to run a jackhammer, I could take out a few teeth.
Yeah. We're always looking for good dentists.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any more questions, so thank you.
Great, yes,
Well, I
thank you
guess,
guys.
When do
Yeah.
you anticipate this project going forward with all this? Is it as soon as they get the approval, or?
Yeah, I think we could
Yeah, kind of
start,
pending this review process,
Okay,
yeah.
potentially this fall.
okay. Thank you.
Great, thanks.
Is there anybody out there that wants to speak
This
on
is a public hearing. We'll open up the public hearing and give it 1, 2, 3, okay? We'll close the public hearing then. Do we have a motion?
I can make a motion to approve the setback variance resolution for a patient pickup drive and short-term parking area for community dental care at 600 Carlton Street North.
I'll second.
We got a motion by John and second by Tom.
Scott.
Oh, Scott. Sorry. Close enough. All those in favor say aye. Aye. No nays. This motion passes. Again, this is just a recommendation to the city council, and we'll go to the city council July 18th, you said, Elizabeth? Or 28th?
So right now, it'll either, tentatively, July 28th. Otherwise, it would be August 11th. I'll be in touch with you after this meeting, though, so I'll confirm those dates.
Great. Thank you. On to F, new business, nothing on the agenda. Unfinished, nothing. Any commission presentations? No?
Did the the thing last month, drawing a blank here, did that go through with the city?
Well, I believe, what?
Some building, what was it? It'll come to me eventually.
Assisted living?
Yeah, the assisted living.
behind 61 there?
Yeah, on the frontage road there. Did that go through with the city, okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yep, that was in May, so that was the meeting minutes. I was not at that meeting, but I'm aware of the project.
Okay, okay.
Any staff presentations?
No, I do not have anything else for you.
No prizes or anything?
No visitors, so we'll adjourn at 7:25 PM.
You guys want to talk about anything else or make it more worth our time?
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
You guys grew up here in the
Thank you.
cities?
I'm in Dayton right now,
Oh, okay.
so.
How about you?
Minneapolis.
Okay.
Yep.
Who started the,
Community dental care? Dr. Bashari Peterson started the organization maybe 20-ish years ago. And then she transitioned leadership of the organization to Karen Kleinhans probably about 7 years ago. And Karen's our current CEO.
There's several other dentists that are involved with it, isn't there?
What's that?
There's several other dentists that are involved with it, isn't there, like the group of guys that
We employ probably close to 50 dentists across our 5 clinics. But yeah, as far as the kind of the leadership structure, there aren't really any other dentists that are involved in that. No.
Not ignoring what I do off the record. There's no like decisions here.
Thank you.
For next month? So deadline is this week.
Yes.
So,
We have